Welcome to episode 308 of the Postal Hub podcast. I'm Ian Kerr. Joining me in a moment to discuss a new era in parcel lockers, the CEO of Omnic, Dimash Syzdykov, and Omnic's Chief Product Officer, Anne Snitko, who's returning for her third time around, everybody. We're going to talk about why parcel locker networks in the past have failed and how to build functional consumer-centric parcel locker networks. A very interesting discussion brought to you by our friends at Omnic. So, coming up in just a moment, a new era in parcel lockers. Joining me on the line are Dimash Syzdykov and Anne Snitko. Dimash is the CEO at Omnic, and Anne, of course, returns. Anne's the Chief Product Officer at Omnic. Welcome to you both. And I'm going to start with you. The last time we talked, we were focusing more on the product and this whole methodology. We were talking about sharing, but you know, this idea of, was it co-opetition? Was that the word you used?
Yes.
So today we're going to talk a bit about the business side of things as well, which is why Dimash, the CEO, is here with us. So why don't we start with, I'll start with a bit of an open question for you, Anne. If parcel lockers are so great, right, if parcel lockers are so great, why aren't we seeing that many cases of successful parcel locker networks around the world?
Hello, Jan. Thanks for having us here today. I'm glad to be back. The question you ask is actually great because it's true. We really see not a lot of successful parcel locker networks in the world. But currently we see that parcel lockers are no longer an innovation. It's kind of necessity that customer expects us to provide them. But the reason why they are not very successful before is that some companies, they started this mass production with parcel lockers like 10 years ago. And they took risk without paying much attention to user experience. As a result, many companies built not just parcel locker networks, but some production companies, they just sold some luggage stores, that somehow automated. And this is not parcel locker network. The parcel locker network is about customer experience and about services that could be provided through parcel locker network. So to sum up, we have very few successful parcel locker network in the world because of two things. First, wrong business approach at the very beginning of the industry. And second is poor user experience that distracted people from using this parcel locker. We see our mission in rehabilitating this market because we believe in parcel locker market, in this experience, but we see that some markets need to rehabilitate and to bring new customer experience to it.
I suppose the customer experience is the thing that separates parcel lockers from luggage lockers in some respects. When we talk about parcel lockers, we talk about the differences between a parcel locker delivery experience or parcel locker delivery and the alternatives. So I suppose, can parcel lockers be better than a human-based or human-centric service or a manned service? I don't know if we're allowed to say manned anymore, but you all know what I mean. A human service as opposed to a parcel locker service.
The case here is that this is the example where human and technology should and could work together to bring better experience both for business and for customers. There is no idea to substitute human force with parcel locker. There is an idea to complement and to reach more effective solution for last mile delivery. Because parcel locker, as any innovation, if you think, it's a tool that help us to reach some new level of productivity. So because the number of parcels per year is growing tremendously, and we need instruments to deliver those parcels faster, cheaper, and with the same level of service. So, and this is what Parcel Locker can help us to do. First, we have business efficiency, like faster operation. For example, if you compare the speed of operation between Parcel Locker and a human, so it needs at least 2 minutes for human and 12 seconds for Parcel Locker to do the same. This brings us to cheaper operation as well. So it's also different from country to country, but in average, Parcel Locker operation 3-5 times cheaper than human-based operation. And all this brings us to better experience, because the level of service for customers is always more predictable using the Parcel Locker, and customer actually choose this kind of service after first try. And all the above, like all these 3 points, faster operation, cheaper operation, and better experience for customers, it helps us to actually to scale business very fast across the country or the globe. Because you don't need to train, to onboard people. You just have these operations that you established, and all you need, just scale them and bring this experience wider.
So, and we've talked about this operational side of things, the customer experience and things like that. Now let's talk about strategy, and we have to talk to you, Dimash, here as a CEO. We need to talk to you about this. What's your strategy for now?
Yeah, thanks for the question. First of all, I wanted to mention that I'm happy to be here. And what's even more important is that we appreciate an increasing interest to this topic. So it's a great opportunity for us to share our vision. So answering your question, strategy is always based on the expertise and values. So I'll split the answers into two. Speaking about the expertise, most of the Parcel Locker producers, they only have experience in Parcel Locker production and installation. Yeah, and this is definitely not enough for the end users to change their habits. In order for the network to work effectively, you need to combine both expertise in production and software development, which is, to be honest, just 20% of the success, and the Parcel Locker management system, which is another 80, which is the most important part. And the majority of market players can only deal with the first 20. So it's usually production companies, which may have developed their own software, and they can integrate one in another, but they can't really do anything else in terms of building a good business model. We've gained this 80% experience. I'm talking about the management system when we launched our own open Parcel Locker network. This was 5 years ago, and we had more than 6,000 units. This was the moment when we got the access to end users, and we've redesigned the whole system specifically to them. We've united all the logistics key players, which are the logistic companies, the e-commerce companies, and the end customers themselves. And we've combined them all under one platform. Yeah, and speaking about our values, the main values would be the customer satisfaction and business efficiency. Let me give you a little bit of announcement here. Yeah, we're planning to witnessing a shift in trend, and the market is experiencing a high boom, which is really good for us. Everything I mentioned earlier gives us a strong positions to enter this worldwide market. For example, since 2017, we've participated in Post Expo, which is the largest exhibition conference for the logistics and e-commerce players. And in the past, we had all the key stakeholders of the industry, the visitors of the exhibition, we had them asking about Parcel Lockers, just inquiring about the Parcel Lockers. What is the product? What is it used for? And how can we implement it? And in just 4 years, to our surprise, in 2021, the same people came to us already stating that they have the parcel lockers, the networks, but they didn't know what to do with it, which means that they weren't working. Yeah. What this tells to us is that many companies have purchased and have installed these parcel lockers, but their vendors, they only knew how to produce and install. So they didn't really care about how these companies will build their business after they will buy the metal boxes from them. And the parcel locker business is more than just metal boxes. And this was something we're now trying to explain to you. Well, now we see our mission is to improve these parcel locker networks, especially those which are not working effectively. Yeah? And to do so, we've redesigned some tools. Yeah? We have 3 main tools. And if number one is the analysis, and this is where we'll analyze the parcel locker networks that already exist, but those that have some issues that they don't work, and which means that we'll find their weaknesses and we'll provide them with some good recommendations, a list of improvements. As an example, yeah, there is one. I'm not going to name the country, but there is one national post which purchased more than 100 units of parcel lockers, and they are all not working. Yeah, they are all just standing, switched off, and we understand that it's a large investment, literally just waste of money. And now with what we can potentially provide to this national post, and we are in talks with them, is that we can analyze on what was the issue, because it could be anything. It could be the software from the developer. It could be the integration with this national post, and or anything else. So we will analyze it and we'll give our recommendations. Yeah, and then there is another product which is called Restart. That's where we will create a strategy and implement it to help companies to reach their return on investments. And there is also a product called Pilot, and that's if the company wants to launch an effective parcel locker network, then we are ready to help. We will sell them the turnkey solution under different terms of cooperations which we have under Omnic company. And speaking about this forms of cooperations, we can either do joint venture together with the client. We can have a mutual company, and we are ready to invest from our side as well. We can do any sort of franchise models. So franchise, master franchise with exclusivity in the market, where we will transfer all our knowledge, products, educational materials, and the other model is just selling the turnkey solution. So, for example, if the company already has an let's call it successful, working at least open parcel locker network, or even closed parcel locker network, we can sell them the units. So by implementing these products, we want to reinvent the industry because it was destroyed by some vendors who were just aiming to sell metal boxes.
There's more to parcel lockers than just metal boxes, Anne, as you were mentioning before, when it comes to the customer experience. So can you elaborate a bit more on that, why the customer experience is so important when it comes to parcel lockers?
So customer-centric approaches in product development has become a trend in recent years. So we could say that customer experience to great extent defines the success of the product. But important part in it is that we are creatures of habit. And it's important when we analyze when we say customer-centric approach, we need to understand what are the habits of people, what are the habits of the people in this particular market. For example, in UAE market, one of the market that we analyzed recently, there is no working experience, no working culture. People live in infrastructure where they go to their car, to their parking lot, drive to business center, then go to their office and come back. So there is no walking experience. And for example, we have this parcel locker that is standing 50 meters from our office, but no one is using it because people not used to walk. And this example is showing then when we analyze market, when we try to implement some kind of new product to the market, we need to integrate this product into human habits, not to try and change habits, but to make it natural. So if it was there forever. And this is what we are trying to do. So there are multiple options available for receiving parcels right now, like door-to-door delivery, carrier delivery, delivery to post office, food delivery, like delivery by taxi, etc. And to change end customers' behavior patterns, we need to ease their experience and to, once again, integrate like parcel locker experience in their day-to-day life. For example, in UAE, this is like residential buildings or like some parking lots or somewhere where it's super easy to reach.
And I would just add from here that I think it's not only the habits, but it's also the culture and economies of the countries that determine what kind of solution the parcel locker would be. Yeah. Me personally, I view parcel locker networks as vitamins and painkillers, some so-called, in some markets. And this depends on the cost of last mile delivery. So what I mean is vitamins are used to strengthen the customer experience, while painkillers are used to reduce the problem of costs. Yeah, and I'll give an example of the countries where we operate or we're planning to operate. So we have an existing open parcel locker network in Israel, and we are about to launch a parcel locker network in Thailand. So, for example, in countries where the labor is expensive and the delivery costs are high, like Israel, where also the salaries of couriers and operators vary between $2,000 and $4,000, parcel lockers become painkillers. We can see it. There is a huge need. We can see it in Israel. That the main idea is to optimize costs, and the parcel lockers in this case is a great solution. While, for example, in other markets like Thailand, I see parcel lockers as vitamins because they not only solve the obvious finance issues, yeah, which is not really applicable to Thailand because the salaries of the couriers and the operators is below $1,000. But what they do is they rapidly increase customer loyalty and satisfaction. I see in Thailand and in similar countries that the local logistic players, they constantly working on digitalizing and improving customer experience. And using parcel lockers will definitely support the customer experience and increase the brand awareness of those companies who are using parcel lockers. But I also need to add here that for vitamins and painkillers to work properly, we need to think about the habit-changing process. This is what you and we're talking about. And when customers have two options, one is to turn to self-service because it's convenient, or to stick to old habits if their experience was damaged previously, for example, then trying parcel locker network becomes a real challenge. Yeah, so therefore it's crucially important to provide a smart turnkey solution, which customer will enjoy while using.
We've got a couple of minutes left, but I just wanted to ask quickly about Omnic's own, I want to call it worldview. It might not be the right phrase, but during this conversation, we've talked about how some delivery companies have just bought lockers without really thinking too much about either the software side of things or the customer experience side of things. So talking about Omnic then, what's your own perspective on all this, or what would you describe as being your strength when it comes to the whole parcel locker business?
Mm-hmm. The biggest strength and probably the biggest difference from the competitors is that we have a full cycle company. So we produce the parcel lockers ourselves in our facilities in Georgia, and this gives us opportunity to control quality and price. And then we also launch them together with the software, which was also developed by us. And this altogether provides a great customer-friendly experience as a final turnkey solution. So this is the biggest strength. And greatest advantage also is that it's the ability of perfectly balancing both business needs and customer experience, which means that on every stage we focus on business to work effectively and on improving customer experience. So trying to turn parcel lockers into people's everyday habits.
Dimash, then quickly before we wrap up, people who have more questions about what Omnic does, where you do it, how how can they get in contact with you?
They can visit our website. That's www.omnic.net. But what's probably more informative is if they will contact us through the emails, which are mentioned on the website, and then we'll be able to provide a full presentation with the catalog of our products, business models we use, and more and more.
I'll stick a link to the Omnic website on the episode page on thepostalhub.com. So if you've missed it, just head over there and you'll be able to go to the Omnic website. They're on LinkedIn and other stuff like that as well. But I'll stick a link to everything on thepostalhub.com on the episode page for this episode. So if you have any questions, just get in contact with Dimash and the team that way. Dimash, Syzdykov, and Anne Snitko from Omnic, thank you very much for joining us on the Postal Hub podcast today.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Thank you, Jan.
Coming soon on the Postal Hub podcast, Johan Peters returns to talk about sustainable urban logistics. We're going to be joined by other guests from companies such as Kantar and OpenPricer and many other great interviewees coming soon on the Postal Hub podcast. Make sure you don't miss a single episode. Sign up for the email newsletter. Go to thepostalhub.com. You can sign up for my weekly newsletter there. You can even sign up for the Daily Delivery Digest, a daily email direct to your inbox with all the headlines from around the delivery world. Sign up for Decarbonising Delivery as well. I'll say that again so you can hear it properly, everybody. Sign up for Decarbonising Delivery. It's a weekly newsletter at the moment. It'll be more in time. A weekly newsletter looking at efforts and strategies and research into reducing last mile emissions. If you want to follow me on LinkedIn, you can. It's free and I won't stop you. Well, I might if you're naughty. Anyway, you go to linkedin.com or your LinkedIn app and you can follow me on LinkedIn and get more postal, parcel and delivery stuff in your LinkedIn feed. Better than a lot of the rubbish that's out there, let's be honest. If you want to contact me about anything at all, my email address is ian@thepostalhub.com. I'm Ian Kerr. Thanks for listening in, and I look forward to your company next time on the Postal Hub podcast.